Your daily subreddits. Subscribe for daily top posts from your favorite subreddits. Now, the top daily posts from the subreddit True Off My Chest. Post 1. Ignored how severe my constipation was for 3 weeks and it all caught up with me last night. I'm sure I, 30F, will carry this whole story with me to my grave. I'm usually very open with certain people, but this is just one of those things so grody that I do not want anyone who knows me to have this mental image of me. But I am about to paint it for you all, because I really just want to get this off my chest, like I still can't believe this all happened. Plus, if anyone searches Reddit for constipation relief, this story may help them or just serve as a cautionary tale to all who have the pleasure of reading. If you don't want to read gory details about poop, skip my post. No hard feelings. I've been constipated for at least 3 weeks. Only pooping small amounts, and they were very hard poops. The kind of poops that leave no residue when you wipe. TBH, they were like asteroids, small clumps stuck together to form one bigger clumpy rock. Usually the size of golf balls. Maybe a bit bigger but slightly flatter. I'd tried everything short of an enema. Cleansing, tea, laxative-like, stool softeners, mineral oil, lots of water, less fiber, lots of fiber, buttery popcorn, exercise, etc. But nothing was helping much and most things were just upsetting my stomach. So anyways, onto last night. I was woken up around 2 a.m. with the sudden, painful urge to shit. I sat on the toilet, put my feet on the squatty potty, and leaned forward. I had the trash can in front of me because it felt like one of those poop, puke, or both moments. I got super hot and sweaty, so I stripped naked, as one does in these situations. Nothing was coming out. I was so beyond uncomfortable. I seriously considered waking my fiancé, 30 meters, to take my to the I ended up laying on the bathroom floor during a brief reprieve and realized that laying on my left side was helping to get things moving and eased some of the nausea. So I put an old towel in the bathtub and laid down in there on my left side, back pressed against the wall of the tub. The cool porcelain felt very good on my back. I figured if I pooped or puked here it'd be easier to clean up anyways. I was contorting around to find the best position to push this shit out. I ended up with my left leg flat, bent at the knee, pressed against the opposite wall to my back. My right leg raised, foot pushing on the little soap holder on the wall in the middle of the tub. I know you're not supposed to push a lot or strain so much, but was in so much pain that I'd rather just deal with the hemorrhoids later. So I kept pushing and eventually, I felt a breach. I considered reaching down to just pull it out with my hands, but didn't want to risk a change of position ruining the moment. I maintained, trying so hard to not lose the pressure between pushes, breaths. 2 asteroids plunked out onto the old towel, literally with a clunk. I laid there for a moment to make sure that's all that was coming out, to catch my breath, and allow the body heat to dissipate some. When it felt safe to do so, I got up and used toilet paper to grab these fist-sized asteroid turds and flush them. Feeling better and rather pleased that I'd discovered a new life hack, I threw the old towel away, took a quick shower, and went to lay back down. It was about 2:45 a.m. at this point. At 3 a.m., the same sudden urge that had woken me up earlier returned with a vengeance. I figured this would be an easier go since I thought those 2 asteroids were the blockage causing me so much trouble. I was very wrong. I was back on the toilet, naked and sweating bullets, doubled over ready to puke into the trash can, wishing to end it all. I figured the tub trick worked before and laid down another old towel, assumed the same position as before, and tried to breathe through it. After about 20 minutes, not pushing the whole time, obviously, another 2 asteroids thumped out. There was some relief, but not as much as before. I felt more movement in my bowels and wanted to get back onto the toilet. but didn't want to risk losing any momentum. So just stayed there. Just a minute or two later and another asteroid thump. I could instantly tell was the last of the blockage. It's truly amazing how much regret and how many thoughts can flood your mind in 1 second. Before I could even lift my arm, 3 normal turds blasted out of my asshole, instantly followed by a steady stream of diarrhea which realistically lasted about 15 seconds. Felt like minutes. I don't know if you've ever felt a solid 15 seconds of thick, hot diarrhea freely flowing from your body, while you are not on a toilet. And I don't even know how to describe it, but I'll try. Physical relief, of course, but also a kind of terror. Will this ever end? Dread. The mess. On myself and in the tub. Regret. Why am I still in the tub? Panicked anxiety. Will my partner come into the bathroom at this very moment and find me here? Like this. In the tub. Volcanic shit still gushing out of my asshole? Finally. A few concluding squirts sputtered out and it ended. I laid there so briefly, just to make sure I didn't pass out when I stood up. The stench was incredible. The asteroids smelt a bit, but nothing could compare to this hot stench engulfing our tiny bathroom, effectively turning it into the pits of hell. I was amazed to see that the towel had caught 95% of it all. Though, I used the unsoiled half to wipe off my leg and ass cheek enough to where I wouldn't drip shit everywhere when I walked to the kitchen to get 2 garbage bags. I came back and carefully rolled up the towel to double bag everything. I plopped that onto the floor, turned the shower on, lit a few incense matches and sprayed some room spray, praying the stench would dissipate by morning. I rinsed off and used an old rag to scrub all affected areas before just sitting down under the stream of warm water. To my horror, I hear the bathroom door open. My showering had woken up my fiancé and he came in to pee. I peeked out from behind the shower curtain and he, bless his heart, only asked if I was okay. I just looked up at him and mumbled something about getting sick. But the bathroom still reeked and he sees the garbage bag bundle on the floor. I'm sure he pieced together a part of what happened. He asked if I needed anything and when I declined, went back to bed. I finished my shower, triple washing my whole body and making sure the tub was clean. I took the bags out to the dumpster, came back inside, sprayed more room spray in the bathroom, made sure the door was latched shut, and went back to bed at almost 4 a.m. My stomach still felt a little uneasy, but I was confident there wasn't anything left that could work itself out tonight and I was exhausted. I slept all right and woke up this morning tired and still feeling a little sour, but much better than last night, although I really wish I had moved to the toilet before the diarrhea started. I am honestly relieved that it happened. I do feel better today. Constipation is no joke and I've dealt with it many times in the past, so I know better. I should have done an enema or talked to a doctor much earlier, but I convinced myself to wait it out because I was pooping, albeit very small amounts. The past few weeks, I hadn't been able to eat properly because I've felt perpetually full and or nauseated this whole time. I was constantly uncomfortable, itchy, and having migraines, but I'm not sure how much of that was caused by the constipation directly. If you're constipated, do not wait 3+ weeks to deal with it. Even if you're pooping a little, every so often, it just gets worse and worse. I think an visit would have been justified last night, though I am glad I avoided it, but I definitely would have wound up with a doctor digging shit out of my ass if I hadn't gotten this cleared out in the next day or so. And that's the end. Bye. Edit. Update. I am so blown away by the attention and response this has generated. I seriously didn't think anyone would care to read such a tale. But I sincerely appreciate everyone's advice, concern, and sharing of similar experiences. I am reading everyone's comments and I'm truly just so grateful. I've gotten many great recommendations and have lots of research to do so I can figure out the best course of action for myself. I am already getting back into my routine of a fairly healthy diet, lots of water, and exercise. But I am definitely going to focus more on a healthy bowel regimen for a while. I promise to see a doctor if I'm not regular and comfortable in a few days, and/or if this happens again for 5+ days. For those of you who asked how I ended up so constipated, I'm sure it's a combination of numerous factors. Likely many I'm unaware of. I've dealt with chronic constipation on/off for a decade. But my last bad episode was years ago. I have been very busy and stressed lately with work, leading me to a poor diet, very little exercise, and not enough sleep. Unintentionally, I was intermittent fasting, usually only eating takeout, quick meals for dinner. I've also been drinking more wine in the evenings and less water during the day. Plus I tweaked my back last week so bad it made even farting difficult and painful. Though after last night, my back feels fine. So maybe that was a symptom rather than a contributing factor to the constipation? I did talk to my fiancé about all this after work today, and apparently he doesn't even remember coming into the bathroom to pee last night. He remembered me coming back to bed around 4 a.m. and asking him to scooch back to his side of the bed. Though, I said, dude, I pooped so much last night. To which he replied, good. I started to go on, explaining how I couldn't get anything moving while sitting on the toilet and ended up in the tub, all twisted up. His only question was, why did you lay down a towel if you were in the tub? Quote, for easier cleanup. Duh. Okay. Makes sense. Of course I had to explain that I'd shit more than I ever had in my entire life. I told him how much I pooped like 4 times because I didn't think he really understood how much shit there was. He said, okay, I get it. You're feeling better now though? Quote, which I am. Very much so. Anyways. Thank you again. To anyone still reading, I encourage you to treat your body with respect and * listen to it. To anyone struggling with constipation, check out the comments, there's tons of amazing advice. Do not ignore it and hope for the best like I did. If you're able, see a doctor ASAP. Edit. Also huge thank you to the compliments to my writing. I write for fun sometimes, but never really to share with others. I certainly appreciate the compliments. But I never thought my nightmare shit story would resonate with so many people, ha. Post 2. I got accepted an amazing job offer today. In all my excitement, I tried to call my dad. He passed away last year. I have never been more elated and sad at the same time. I wish I could revel in this moment with you pops and hear you be excited and see you smiling. But I know you are proud of me. Love you forever, Dad. Post 3. A couple days ago a no-caller ID called me on the night I got broken up with, and I don't think I can ever forget him. It was a voice I've never heard before. I was struggling pretty hard that night and answered. He was going to end the call, but before that, asked if I was okay. Desperate and knowing I'll never meet him, I replied, no I'm not. And this complete stranger stuck around. What can I do for you? I said, get me a boyfriend. He chuckled and said he could absolutely not do that. I ended up opening up to this stranger in his 50s maybe. Told him about my breakup and how my ex was waiting to leave me for this other girl. He calmly listened, empathized, and told me incredible things. He asked me, what does that tell you about him as a person? Is that who you want to be with? He's unhappy with himself and scared of being single after a breakup. I pretty much lost it at *. It wasn't about who was the better girl. It was about who was the next girl. I had a pretty major mental breakdown and he told me, tears are part of our body healing. Don't hold them back. I kept breaking down as he was telling me, it shouldn't hurt your self-esteem because you were true to yourself and you'll find someone that is looking exactly for a smart, incredible girl that stays true to herself. That's someone's dream. You're someone's dream. He asked me random things about myself as a distraction, about my hobbies, books I'm reading, and left off that call with asterisk, "Whoa, so much. Just start by getting through the night, okay? Just the night. One night at a time." I can't even remember his voice now. I wish I could meet him. Thank him. Just anything. He helped me so much, yet he didn't know me. Was he God sent? I went to bed that night unsure of tomorrow, yet incredibly at peace. Blank. Edit. Hey, it's up. For starters, thanks for the award. S. And LT. 3. I'm still getting used to Reddit etiquette, but for those messaging me about how fake this is. Not planning to reply, so I'll say it once here. I get to nitpick what I post. I will choose the one in a lifetime story over the daily occurrence. I wouldn't have written about the times I got scam phone calls. This call is something that will probably never happen to me again, and I don't want to ever forget it. Post 4. I don't stop guys from talking about my sister anymore. My sister and I ended up working at the same place. It is a construction equipment company, so there aren't many women in our line of work. My sister is a little above averagely attractive, but nothing special, since most of our customers work 50-plus hour weeks right now. And she is the only woman they see during the day. Most of them find her very attractive. We work in different ends of the company. She is up front at the desk. I'm back in the back doing shipping, receiving, and pulling customer orders. Our regular customers know we are brother and sister. But the guys who get sent in to grab a piece of equipment for the day, or homeowners, don't know it. Lots of people come back and ask things like, "What's the story with the brunette? Is that girl up front single?" And loads of, "Man, what I would do to the skinny girl at the counter." At first I'd let them know she was my sister, which always ended with 5 minutes or so of them backpedaling and trying to get me to confirm I'm not lying. At this point, if it isn't someone I recognize, or another coworker isn't in the warehouse, I just let people say what they will about her. It is just easier and quicker to load their trucks and agree with them or nod to their stories while they talk about railing my sister, than to have the same conversation 15 or 20 times a day explaining we are related. Post 5. I photoshopped my high school transcript to avoid being rescinded. Back during my senior year of high school, I got in on early decision to my dream college. I think that was around December or something like that. To say I had senioritis is an understatement. If I woke up and didn't feel like going to school, I simply didn't. Even on days when I didn't skip school entirely, I often skipped specific classes. I would forge absent notes. And ***, I even blocked the school's number on my parents' phones ***, that way I couldn't get caught. All things considered, it was pretty heinous of me. In terms of actual schoolwork, I did a little bit above the minimum. I left all extracurriculars. Come around late May, I have to send in my final transcript to my college. I knew I was in pretty deep shit. Going into the second semester, I was on track to be valedictorian. Needless to say, I lost that. My grades obviously took a heavy decline. I knew I could get perfect scores on my AP exams, so I had that going for me, but I was utterly terrified of getting my offer rescinded. At this point I started Googling around about people that had their enrollment rescinded. I was basically at the cusp. It would have been a serious coin toss had I not done what I did. It's one of the top 3 universities in the US too. So I figured they wouldn't play around with me. The final transcripts **** seniors received * were just irregular papers with our info on it. The transcripts *** sent to colleges * were embossed with our district logo. So I gave some bullshit story to my guidance counselor. I don't feel bad. She was a dick. About how I have other materials to physically send to my college, and that they prefer everything together. She bought it and gave me the envelope. So I went home, scanned my transcript and got to work in Photoshop. I changed my grades to something more reasonable for your average case of senioritis. The last step was to actually buy a custom embosser for like $70 to complete my fraudulence. It came in like a week later. I put the new transcript back in the original envelope, walked to my mailbox, put it in. May passed. Then June. Then July. By August the first knew I was in the clear. I don't regret it. For obvious reasons. I have never, and likely will never tell anyone who knows me. If I'm not mistaken, this kind of thing is career-ending at the minimum. Those last 4 to 5 months were one of very few periods in life when I was happy, going to Chick-fil-A for lunch, playing through the Elder Scrolls series, writing for D&D. I'll be damned if one semester of slacking undid years of expectations. Work, leadership, etc. and amp. #X200B. Edit. I'm seeing some confusion, and I just want to be clear. First point. My application was entirely digital. Yes. But the final transcript was requested physically. Second point. There was no school seal or anything of the sort. The only thing verifying that it came from the school was the embossed paper, and b. the envelope was branded with my school district. Third point. I didn't fail any classes. Because as I said, I did just enough above minimum. Post 6. I'm a nurse, please take care of your health. No doctor or nurse can fix you. Listen. I have worked in for 9 years. If you have a sudden emergency like appendicitis or a broken bone, yes, we can fix that. But if you're obese or you let yourself become immobile or overweight, endless complications will happen. Literally, if you just exercise and maintain a healthy weight, your life will be immensely better. Don't let yourself stay overweight. We can't fix your body from destroying itself, and pills can only do so much. My dream after working in healthcare is to never set foot in a hospital or become ill until my heart suddenly stops at age 80. Healthcare sucks. You'll be waiting in for hours when your obesity kills you. Have endless trips to the pharmacy. Spend thousands on pills and rehab. And you will become an angry human as your body falls apart. Don't let it happen to you. For the love of God, humans become too gross and life becomes hard when you are overweight. Post 7. I lied to my husband about my sexual history and I'm scared he'll find out. 5 years ago I met the love of my life after graduating uni. When I met him I just knew he was the one for me, like he's perfect. The only problem is that he grew up in a conservative upbringing that looks down upon sex in a non-monogamous relationship. He asked me if I had a history and I lied and said no, I didn't want to lose the man who made me happy. He seemed relieved and happy. He then said he was a virgin. Years go by, we get married, and as of recent he's been making remarks like, I'm glad we met when we did, so you didn't fuck lots of guys, or saying, I wonder what man would marry a hoe. I'm scared he'll find out. I just know he'd leave me over having slept around. Edit. Wow, there's a lot of comments, some helpful and kind. Others just plain mean, but it's the internet, that's to be expected. I've never had a post get this big, so I may not be able to respond a lot to y'all, but thanks for the love while I ignore hateful comments. I'll update you all soon. That's it for this time. Subscribe for more daily top posts from your favorite subreddits. Have a great day.